So I get a text message from a fellow what I'd done some work for before. Would you just? So he sends me a message. Tony, he says, because we're good like that. That's what he calls me. Tony, he says, I got a belly pan. Actually, I'm sure he's probably more like this when he sends a text message. Anyways, he says, I got a belly pan for a snow machine. I'd like to get it painted. So what I says to him, I says, well, that sounds like something I would do. Sure. Hell of a fellow. I've done work for him in the past. So my first question to him, what is it? Is it aluminum? Is it fiberglass? Is it made out of metal? What do we got here? He says, oh, it's made out of thin steel. It's got a couple repairs on it. Just need it painted. No big deal. Oh, peachy. Sounds good. Yeah, sure. Bring it by. I can probably get it done right away for you. I'll work it in amongst, all this other shit that I'm drowning in around here. So he comes out here, and what he proceeds to do is he takes a big shit right in the middle of my shop. He hunkers down, and this is what he squeezes out. Son of a bitch. Like, holy hell. This is for, it's supposed to go on snow. Isn't snow soft? Isn't that snow? You kind of go skipping across the snow on it? Well, holy hell, go someplace where it snows, would you? Jesus. Here, let's look at stuff. I don't know. Jeez, holy jumping Jehoshaphat. So you see how shit kind of disappears there? Well, it's not supposed to look like that. Look at that. That ain't no picnic. See how that round hole kind of looks like a crumpled up piece of tin foil? That's because it's kind of like a crumpled up piece of tin foil. I mean, at least on this side, I kind of have a remnants left of the body line, so I know what it's kind of got to look like on the other side. Then you get up around here, that's worse than it looks. And then you look under here, well, what are you? Thin steel? This thing weighs 742 pounds. This is like off of some damned 1980s something, I don't know what they said, a MotoSki or something? What the hell is a MotoSki? I don't know. I mean, jumping Jehoshaphat's. What are you, nuts? So anyways, I'm going to fix a belly pan. A belly pan? A belly pan. That's a big gut. That's not a belly pan. That's an obese gut is what that is. I shit my pants putting it up on that stand. But yeah, I'm going to do a whole bunch of smashing and banging, and I guess we'll see. You can see by the hammer and the hunk of iron in there that I've already done a little bit of beating on it. I'll beat the son of a bitch, all right. So this thingama shits this here. Ooh, the paint's peeling. If we were doing this color, that'd be a fine sample. Right, patty cakes? I've said before, and I'll say it again, a lot of times when you're doing metalwork on shit, if something's got all kinds of stamping going on, so I know that this doesn't really show up, but this thing has got like 5 or 6 different body lines stamped into the side, and I mean they're distinctive lines. There's there's a 90, there's like a 30 and a 45 and a 72 and a 37 and a 98 and a 54. So what I'm getting at here is just like anything else, this piece here started out, sorry, I just scared the kitty. Started out as a big flat sheet of steel. And then, wha-bang! They stamped her into a die, and this is what you got. So this thing, there's a seam in here, so doesn't matter. I'm not going to get into all the horny details about it. What I'm getting at about it, though, is that with that many lines and that much shit stamped into there, when it gets beat, unless the thing gets hammered so hard that it is so stretched out of shape that it's just a piece of tin foil crumpled up and it don't matter, unless it's hit that hard. If this thing got hit by a train, then okay, you wouldn't be able to bring her back. I'm skipping around a lot in my conversation. Sorry. Damn it. The metal kind of wants to go back to where it is. It's been stamped and hammered so hard, and it's been stretched into the shape that it's in, that to smack it and bang it around, well, the metal's got to go somewhere. So the first place that it's going to want to go is the first time that it's been stretched out of shape. Because essentially that's what happened when they made this panel. They took that flat sheet of steel and they stretched it out of shape and made this lovely example of architecture here. So it's going to kind of want to go back. This thing has got a whole bunch of different damages all over the place in it. So in order for it to want to come back, you kind of need to jump around here and there. You go for your biggest shits and kind of get them close to shape. Then you can go for some smaller shits and get them tapped out. And then go back to the bigger shits, and everybody's going to go back and forth, and this is going to release a little bit of tension to that. And then that's going to release a little bit of tension to this. And then by the time you release the tension, those three things, well, they're going to release a little bit of tension over here. One of the things that you run into is like this thing has, I don't know if you can see over there, but there was a big brace. I had to drill the welds and cut the brace out because the brace is bent and it's holding it into its shape. And it's all bitched up in behind it, so I couldn't get at it to smash it around. What is surfaced as a real problem is this hole. That's a pain in the ass because that hole, that makes it just want to bounce there because we've lost a whole lot of strength there. I mean, now that there's a void there, and I mean, when I'm trying to work this stuff around, I don't really know how to put it into words, and I know what's going on, but I don't know how to tell you what's going on. When I'm trying to get this line back into it, well, because there's no strength here, and because the edge of this hole, I'm guessing when this was made, is just 1/8 of an inch below this top contour here. So with that being so close, I mean, how the hell do you get it back there? It doesn't, you know, because there's nothing there. It's got no integrity there. It's just like today's society. It's got no integrity. So it's being bitchy. That and this whole thing has been marshmallowed enough that this should be a nice tight 90-degree contour in here, like it is here and it is here, but it's really rounded in through here. So in order to try to get some of the strength back, well, you kind of got to try to get that 90 back in there. But how the hell do you do that? I mean, because it's stamped. I'm not going to cut it off and weld it back together. What am I, stupid? So I have, well, you can almost read where it says snapper head on it. I've had this hammer I've had this hammer since I was stupid enough to buy Snap-on tools. That's how long I've had it. But one thing I do have to say is it's a cross peen hammer, and it's got a really nice sharp peen on it. It's got the sharp peen. So I've roughed out some stuff, but to try to get some more strength into it, well, I'm trying to get our 90 back. So to try to get our 90 back, I'm supporting it from the bottom with my hunk of steel, and then taking the peen and trying to layer into that. After his girlfriend at the time, Susan Rotella. When I'm trying to layer into that, I'm trying to hit down. See, and that's the handy thing with that curve. There's the honeymoon version. But that's the handy thing with that curve is I can come in and go down. You know what I'm saying? As far as me hitting right in that line, I'm not. I guarantee I'm not. I'd like to, but I'm not. I'm leaning into it because I'm actually putting quite a bit of upward force on this because I don't want to lay this edge down. So I'm supporting it up and I'm smashing it, and I don't know if I'm really getting where I want to be or not, but you guys got to try. Let me show you a problem. And actually it's a problem that I don't think I can do anything about. I don't know if you can get a good look, but I mean, like you see the way our shape is. Well, when I look at this side, that peak up there, it comes out a lot flatter, okay? And squared down, you know what I'm saying to you? Like the top, if you called that a fender, the top of the fender's higher, flatter, I mean. And on this side, that top of that fender angles down a lot. Now, I don't know if this thing was just never the same from side to side. It's possible. But I mean, it did take a good side swiping here. Now, I don't know if that was a good enough side swiping to lay that whole side in. I mean, it's possible. I don't know. So you can look at that side. You look at that side, and we're a different shape. And I'm not going to be able to make this side match that side. So my concern, I mean, I'm not so worried about that being such a big thing because I don't think anybody will ever notice that. My concern is making sure that the hood fits. And I don't have a hood or the sled. Because on this thing, it's got a plastic or fiberglass hood that comes down and sits over top. It rides along there. So my distance from there to there has to be good for the hood to sit on it, and the same with my height, so that the hood bottoms down. That's why I was just measuring, because that's a ski mount. So I'm guessing that ski mount's going to be, you know, same side to side. So I just did a height measurement from the ski mount to the top lip and the ski mount to the top lip, and I'm within a little under 1/8 of an inch to that top lip, so should be all right. I don't know. I got a hell of a lot more smashing and banging to do on this hunk of shit, though. I really have no chance whatsoever, I don't believe, of trying to work this out. I ground it so you almost can't really see it, but really it's like a topographical map of, I don't know, like this should all be blue, because that would be ocean around a map that's just mountains and volcanoes. I don't know if I can even see what I'm talking about there. This thing is, what's the phrase? This thing has been run agrift. It's been run agrift a few times. I don't know. It's been in a situation. Oh, look at that. So I can't get in behind that and give her the business because there's a big box like this kind of part of, you know, it's, and I mean, it's welded to the floor there, I guess, to support the motor and et cetera, I don't know. Like there's an access hole or two on the bottom side, but it's kind of like that, but on the top side, doesn't do me any good. This thing's made out of heavy enough metal that you can see using a pin welder didn't really do much good. And this is such a narrow space because it's welded, there's a brace underneath there. So yeah, that didn't come up very nicely either. So what I'm gonna do, as you can see by Mr. Attitude Adjuster, I'm going to give her the old hacky-sacky ha and cut it out, smash the shit out of it, and weld it back in again. That's what I'm going to do. Don't go thinking that the brutality of this is lost on me. I get it. That's not nice. It's not nice. It's not nice. But what are you going to do, you know? I mean, you got to kind of, in this instantaneousness, I kind of got to keep cost effectiveness in mind too, because this ain't worth a whole bunch of money, and I told the guy that I'd kind of not do it cheap, but I'd try to do it cheap. You know, not everything is Bugatti or something. I don't know. So anyways, so I'm going to take this crinkled up piece of tin foil I got now, and come on now. So I'm trying to weld it back in. It ain't straight, it ain't square. And so you're saying, well, why didn't you just make up a new panel? Would have been faster and easier. Yes, it would have. However, everybody here, I mean, ain't a damn thing within 3 square feet of me, in front of me here, is the way that it's supposed to be. So if I make up a nice panel and put the bend it needs in it and nice and squared and everything, it ain't going to fit all this wrinkled bullshit around it. And just cut it out. I mean, so far it's been, I don't know, 15 minutes I got into this so far. So what I'm going to do on account of, because, you know, I mean, you can see it because of the way that it is I got some highs and lows because this piece is stretched. I mean, like just look. Like it is so stretched. So in an instantaneous, like, oh, you dirty bitch. Like this, when you're doing something like this, what I do, you know, if there's nobody looking, and I mean, There's nobody here but me. Well, and you. So if you got some high, you're kind of the 7 C's that you're trying to weld together. So what I'll do is I'll try to pick it up so a low spot is flush for where I want to weld. Then I'll tack that. Then your high spots are all high. Well, you can smash the high spot down. But once you're where you need to weld this baby together, you're not going to be able to, if your panel is below your surface and you just got this tiniest little slit beside it, it's tough to get in there behind it to pick it up because we're boxed in on the bottom side of this. See what I'm saying to you? So match your low spots up and then smash your high spots down when you welded it. And if that doesn't sound like bad advice, then you ain't listening. So there it is. I know to you it don't look much different, but it is. I mean, we shrunk her down. It's just a reflection off all the grinder marks. I mean, it's not bad. Hey, like you can see my hand. Looks worse than it is. I mean, it ain't nice. I'm not saying it's nice. Don't. Hey, it's not nice, but I mean, for I don't know how long that actually took. 40 minutes, between a half an hour and 40 minutes. It's pretty good welds for there being paint on one side and grease on the other. Except up there. What are you going to do though? There it is. So next up for this thing, that'll be it for a little bit here. Next time you see it is going to be after I sandblasted, but it is like, I don't even know how cold it is outside. It's about 15 below Fahrenheit and I don't have any sand and I got to sandblast this next. I hate sandblasting. I don't know what kind of paint is on this dirty prick job of a son of a bitch of a rotten bastard of a but holy cock smoker. I took it outside yesterday and I tried sandblasting it. Now granted, my little blaster is like trying to take a piss in a 60-gallon bucket. But I mean, whatever, it's I'm not a sandblaster out here. That's not what I do. Sandblasting sucks. So why am I going to cater to it? Anyways, why yada. The sand hit this and it hit me harder than it hit this bouncing off of it. I don't know what kind of paint this is. And I know what everybody's going to say. Everybody's going to have their suggestions, but I don't even know. Like this thing is a 1980s MotoSki, whatever the hell that is. There's nothing underneath it. All it is, and I mean this paint is thin. There is no paint on this. It is so thin. But it is so hard. And there's no primer, nothing underneath it. It's just this creamy white paint. And everywhere where you take it off, it is rusty underneath it. And the surface of the paint ain't broke, but it's just got little spiders of rust crawling from one end of this thing to the other. I mean, maybe they were probably already on it when it got painted. You know what I'm saying to you? But still, holy hell. So this is a brand new piece of 80 grit. Believe it or not, that's faster than the sandblasting went, because the sandblasting didn't go. Does Amazon sell crystal balls? Can you get a crystal ball from Amazon? And I don't mean a crystal ball, because if I could have just, when they said, hey, can you fix the belly pan for my sled for me? If I could have just give that ball a rub, and had a look into a week in the future, I'd have said, yeah, no, I can't do that. Because cock biter, like, Jesus, son of a... So for your $5,000 sled, I got to charge you $37,482 to paint this blue, because it's going to take me 6.5 months. I still got to slather some Bingus all over this thing and sand her up a little bit. Something like this, if you're doing something like this at home, and you got a big wha-bang in the side of your whatever the hell this piece of shit is, don't stack it full of mud, Bondo, dough, whatever you want to call it, body filler. Don't get that shit too thick on here, because this is steel, and that's not. And when you take it out of your garage or wherever you keep your Snowmobile, and you huck it outside, I don't know how cold it gets where you are, but up here in our Frosty the Snowman temperatures, it gets to be like minus 30 out there. Whatever that is in Fahrenheit, I don't know. That's Celsius. It's goddamn cold is what it is. You take it out there and your expansions and your contractions rates of your 3/4 of an inch thick pucka filler you got on here versus the steel underneath it, well, you're probably going to get into trouble. Something's going to crack and something's going to fall off. So don't do that. Get a hammer in there and beat the son of a bitch and smash it a few times first before you stack a bunch of mud in there. Would ya? I mean, I got a half a mind to spit on my wiener and go stick it to a metal pole outside. That's how much fun this is. Let's talk about how heavy this thing is for a minute, shall we? I mean, holy hell, look at it. Half of this thing is made out of 1/8" plate. Look at it. Would you want to know how heavy it is? That's how heavy it is. Why, I don't know nothing about, what the hell is this called? A MotoSki? But I'll tell you what, I know something about them now. I have picked this up and carried it a couple of times. But I'll tell you something, that was a couple of times too many. But I'm going to paint it, and I reckon that this is going to be, this ought to be the least dramatic for picking up a 5,000 pound sinking. This thing's as heavy as a Buick. All right. Careful. I gotta figure out what to do with all this shit now. I'm in a bad way here, and I'm not even joking. I got enough work here to last 3 of me a year. Here's everything else. If you know somebody, or you got a friend of a friend, or even you just got some shit on somebody, and they would work really, really hard and do pretty decent work for like $5 an hour, you know, maybe $6.50. Let me know, because I got way too much shit going on here, and I would really like to be in a position where I don't got to wrap somebody's work up in plastic while I'm storing it in the booth so that I can paint somebody else's shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, there it is. Single stage MotoSki. I don't know if you have Enduro where you are. It's brutal. It's rude stuff. It's bad. I think it's an epoxy paint. That's what this is. Epoxy. It's all epoxinated. Yeah, look at that fun house action, eh? Not exactly a show car finish, but hey, look at that guy. It's weird, looks like a boat, eh? Well, anyways. As the cool kids say, that'll do, donkey. That'll do.